It's just before 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm walking back towards the Gemas Railway Station. This is where my rail journey from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur shifts gears. Earlier today, I arrived here on a slow diesel train from Johor Bahru. Now, I'm continuing north on the electric train service, or ETS, towards Kuala Lumpur. The ticket office is on the second floor of the station, and there are lifts to bring you up and down to the platforms. Boarding the ETS is easy. I just scan the QR code, either printed or on my phone, at the automatic gates and walk straight through. The ETS train slides into the station quietly, right on schedule. Compared to the diesel train, this one looks sleek and modern. The platform is level with the train, but I still mind the gap as I step on board. I walk to my carriage. There's only standard class seating on this train. The seats are arranged in a 2+2 layout. Half face forward, half face backward, and none of them swivel. So if direction matters to you, it's worth choosing carefully when booking. At 3:52 p.m, we pull out of Gemas. This train is a Class 93/1 electric multiple unit from 2016, a 6-car set with a cafe, a prayer room, and accessible toilets. I could lift my 40-litre backpack onto the overhead rack above my seat. There are luggage racks at the end of the carriage, with enough space to fit medium-sized bags. If you're traveling solo, it's easy to keep your belongings within reach. The Café carriage isn't really a full dining car. It feels more like a cafe counter built into a train. More than half the space is still regular seating, with a small counter offering microwave-heated meals, snacks, and hot and cold drinks. Seating here is limited. Just a narrow row of fixed blue stools along the window, each with a small ledge instead of a proper table. It's fine for a quick bite or a coffee, but not a place you'd linger for very long. The toilets are relatively clean and modern, and I have no complaints there. Overhead monitors show the route map and upcoming stations, along with regular announcements. One screen also shows the train speed. At one point, we hit 140 kilometers per hour, impressively fast for a long-distance train running on meter-gauge tracks. Around me, people settle into their routines. Some nap, some scroll quietly. The carriage stays calm and respectful. As the train gathers speed, the scenery flows by more quickly now. Green hills rise and fall outside the window. Small towns flash past in moments. I rest my hands on the window ledge and let the view do the talking. Train travel has a way of slowing your thoughts, even when the train itself is moving fast.
Next station, Haja.
The train begins to slow as we approach Kuala Lumpur. There's a subtle shift in energy, the quiet sense that the journey is drawing to a close.
Next station, Kuala Lumpur.
At around 6:26 p.m, we glide into the old Kuala Lumpur Railway Station. The old Kuala Lumpur station feels different from KL Central. Smaller, older, more atmospheric. The architecture carries echoes of another era, when arriving by train felt ceremonial. Signage here is simple and exits are easy to find. If you're continuing by Grab or taxi, everything is close and manageable. From Singapore to Johor Bahru. From Johor Bahru to Gemas. And now, from Gemas into the heart of Kuala Lumpur.
Next station, KL Central.
This journey took time, but it never felt difficult. Each step was clear, each transition manageable, even when traveling alone. For solo women, this route is practical, steady, and quietly reassuring. It's not the fastest way north, but it might be the most grounding. And with that, my train journey from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur comes to a gentle close.